Good morning. I am out today and do not have a sub, so I appreciate you watching this video. This video is mostly for kids that are in the first group I meet with. If you are in on self-pacing and doing your own thing, I expect that you will complete at least one lesson. If you get stuck on something that you can't figure out or you have a question, you can always use the hardcover book to help answer some questions if possible, or you can skip what you're doing, work ahead to the next lesson, or you can always just wait and do Moby Max until tomorrow when I'll be back. So if you're self-pacing, you can stop the video now and get to work. Everyone else, we're going to start by correcting 7-3 and 7-4, starting on page 9, number 1, 3/10, number 2, 8/10, number 3, 5/10, number 4, 7/10, number 5, 14/100, 6, 2/10, 7, 17/100, 8, 12/100, number 9, 4.8, 4 and 8/10, 4 and 6/10, number 10, 2 and 15/100, 1 and 95/100, number 11, 95/100, 93/100, number 12, 3 and 81/100, 3 and 79/100. Page 10, number 13, 8/10, 1, number 14, 5/10, 3/10, number 15, 7/10, 1 and 3/10, number 16, 1 and 6/10, 1 and 2/10, number 17, 12/100, 15/100, number 18, 12/100, 8/100. Next page, page 11. Number 1, 82/100 is greater than 8/10. Number 2, 25/100 is less than 3/10. Number 3, 3 and 9/100 is less than 3 and 1/10. Page 12, number 4, less, greater, greater, less. Remember, you can always pause the video if I'm going too quickly for you. Number 8, greater than, less than, equal to. You should have circled the greatest decimal and underlined the least. Take a minute to look and see that you did the correct ones. Number 16, 3 and 3/100, 3 and 30/100, 3 and 33/100. Number 17, 5 and 5/100, 5 and 15/100, 5 and 51/100. Number 18, 41/100, 1 and 40/100, 1 and 4/100, 4 and 10/100, or 1/10. Number 19, 2 and 63/100, 3 and 26/100, 6 and 32/100. Moving to lesson 7-4 on page 13. You should have written 35 in both blanks. Number 2, both blanks should say 25, and number 3, both blanks should say 47. Number 4 is 81. Number 5 is 645 is about $6. Number 6, $4 and 4 and 55/100 liters is about 5 liters. Number 7, 10 and 3/10 meters is about 10 meters. Page 15, number 1, 11 and 2/10. Number 2 is 1.0, and number 3 is 7.5 or 7 and 5/10. At the top of page excuse me, 4, number 4 at the top of page 16, 44 and 7/10. Number 5, 1 and 72/100 is about 1 and 7/10. Number 6, 5 and 95/100 is about 6. Number 7, 2 and 54/100 is about 2.5, 2.5. Number 8, 45/100 is about 5/10. Number 9, you should have rounded that number to the decimal to the whole number and the tenth. So number 9 is 3 and 3 and 5/10. Number 10 is 6 and 5 and 7/10. Number 11 is 4 and 1/10. Number 12 is 5 and 5. So today for your work, you will be working on lesson 7-5. And if you finish, I'm thinking you will have plenty of extra time. You will be working on a challenge packet, an extension packet for chapter 7. So today's lesson is 7-5. We are learning about fractions and decimals and changing fractions to decimals. So you should have some ideas of how to make equivalent fractions already. It says express the fraction 1/5 as a decimal. So you're looking at the bar model. You can see that 2/10 equals 1/5. So 0.2 would be the answer. We really used this method down here, changing the fraction into something with a denominator of 10 or 100 to make it into a decimal. That is going to be the faster way. So here again, it's just giving you some examples to practice. If you would like, you could pause and do that. There are the answers for that. You can change an improper fraction to a decimal. Now this, in the workbook, there will be lots of blanks that you may not know what they're looking for, but remember, you can always just put the answer at the bottom or just put the answer next to it to know that you know how to do it yourself, your own way. So 5/4, what they're doing is they're taking out one whole, which is 4/4. So 4/4 plus 1/4 is 1 plus 1/4, which is 1 plus 25/100, because 1/4 equals 25/100, which is 1 and 25/100. So a lot of steps to change that. We can change mixed numbers to decimals. They have two methods here again. Express 3.5 as a decimal. One way they did it was to change it to an improper fraction, change that to a decimal, to a fraction with 10 as a denominator, and then rewrite it. This is sort of a silly example because everyone knows 3.5, or at least we know 3.5 is 3.5. The other way they've done it is with bar models, changing 1/2 to 5/10, adding that together and making 3 and 5/10. So you could do a little practice here, changing the mixed numbers to a decimal. Again, you can press pause and then check your work on the next slide. You also need to be able to change a decimal to a fraction. So in simplest form is going to be the trickiest part for you here. 8/10 is obviously 0.8 is 8/10. You just need to remember that you reduce that to 4/5. We can change decimals to mixed numbers. Again, if there's a lot of blanks in the book that you don't understand, you can always just change it in your own way. So here I would look and see 2.5. I know that's 2 and 5/10, but then I reduced to 2.5. They've changed it to an improper fraction, taken out the whole. 20/10 is worth 2, add it together. Another example here with 7 and 25/100. Again, you could change this. You can take some time to practice here, remembering that if it has a whole number, a number before the decimal, that's going to be a whole number with a fraction as a remainder. There are the answers. And let's practice. You will be responsible for completing pages 17 and 18 for work today. And like I said, you will have an extension packet also, which I will show you. Okay, the extension packet is what we worked on these a lot last year when kids were done. We have chapter 7, which is on decimals. So everything that we are doing here is relating to what we have learned in this unit. I want you to really focus on getting these problem-solving ones complete, and it will help you work towards better understanding and deeper understanding. There are 6 pages. I don't expect you to get 7-5 and the whole packet done, but it will help you with deeper understanding of the topic. We will do in class tomorrow the review for the unit, the thinking cap for the unit, and then the plan would be to take the test on Wednesday. All right, get to work. I hope you're productive and respectful, and I will see you tomorrow.